Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
All right, we have just learned that kids in Virginia Beach will head back to school tomorrow after 6 straight snow days. Parents, Janet, can finally have a sigh of relief, I guess.
I think that sound is parents saying, yay!
Yeah, that's what it is. Good evening, I'm Philip Townsend.
And I'm Janet Roach. Snow-covered bus routes and student safety kept the schools closed for so long. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves is live in Virginia Beach. And Stephen, you spoke with the superintendent.
That's right, Janet, we did. You know, a lot of parents at home, they were wondering, why cancel schools? Some of their neighborhoods look clear. Well, we wanted to ask him that question. He got a picture this morning of the roads, and that's what he made the decision off of. But we've been walking around today, and there has just been a lot of melting. Take a look here. You can see some of the sides where the cars are. That's all the snow that really remains. But what we found out from school leaders, yes, they were concerned about buses, but it's those sidewalks that you see there to the side that students have to walk on that they were mainly concerned about. This is what Virginia Beach School Superintendent Dr. Aaron Spence woke up to at about 4:30 this morning. His crews were out and about surveying the ice and slush. He says it was easy to make the call for school to be out after seeing this. Some students like Aspen Newman and Nicole Hoffman were skeptical though.
I woke up this morning and I was really surprised that they canceled just because there's really not any slush left.
But that was later this afternoon as the melting was underway. Spence says it had to be a quick decision this morning to make the cancellation call.
Anytime we've got a weather event, timing is everything.
Dr. Spence says his staff has mostly gotten positive reaction from parents, but he hears the concerns. Most worry is over bus routes and also students who have to walk when sidewalks aren't clear.
I guess if that's why they called it, then it makes sense.
But one of the top concerns from students and parents, when are they going to make up these 6 days? Could kids go to school on Saturday? Is that a possibility?
No, we're not going to send students to school on Saturday. In the past, what we've been able to do is extend the school day and again use those staff days, those teacher work days, and some of our holidays.
So we heard there staff, work days, and holidays. Those are what they're going to decide about on how to make up for these 6 days. And there's a meeting that's happening tonight, or actually tomorrow, about when those will be made up. And we'll, of course, relay that information when we get it. But once again, let's turn back out here to a live look at the roads. We're out here in the Princess Anne section of Virginia Beach. We asked the superintendent, does he want to see more plows, and what lessons did he learn from this snowstorm? You're going to hear more about that coming up in the next hour. Reporting live in Virginia Beach, I'm Stephen Graves. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, first came the snow. Now it's warm temperatures that we're dealing with out there. And it looks like rain may also be coming up. Here's a live look from our tower cam over downtown Norfolk. Jeff Lawson's with us now. Jeff, what's the timeline here for that rain?
Well, we're already seeing a few showers out there. You saw the clouds in that sky view. This is another one from the DQ down there, right along the ocean front and the boardwalk. And it's even obviously cloudier down there. But it's back inland where we've got the light rain that is occurring right now. There's a little bit of mist and drizzle in a couple of spots here in the metro area. But it's really once you get back inland, closer to the western parts of our viewing area, Franklin, for example, Southampton County, up here near Williamsburg, other side of the James River. That's where we have more of the light rain right now. Currently, temperatures, as you can see behind me here, or in front of me actually, 62 degrees, southeasterly winds at 7. They will be picking up significantly by later tonight. And that's just going to bring a lot of warmth in. With the warmth, especially over the cooler ground, the patches of snow here and there, that creates a pretty significant chance for some fog later tonight. Temperatures then will drop pretty steadily for the evening, and then they'll hold steady, and I think they're even going to go up. Maybe not as soon as midnight, but during the overnight at least. Temperatures will be on the rebound and going up pretty rapidly with that southerly breeze kicking in. Today, we don't know the exact high. It was around 71 then for tomorrow. And then watch what happens. This Saturday temperature will actually have a high of 61 or so, but that'll be at midnight. This is a daytime high temperature, and during the afternoon, it won't even be that warm. It'll be more like 40, and then we get really cold again. With some of that cold air comes a chance for a few snow showers. We'll talk more about that as well. That's all in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jeff. Developing now, Norfolk police are investigating the death of a 58-year-old man. They got a call last night about an unresponsive person in a home on West 42nd Street near Colley Avenue, and that's where officers found the man's body. Now, police haven't told us who the man is or how he died, but they are calling this a homicide. If you have any information that could help, you're asked to call the crime line.
New information tonight. Moments ago, a grand jury indicted a 15-year-old boy on charges related to the shooting of a Portsmouth police officer. William Patterson Jr. is accused of shooting that officer back in November. She survived. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee is live in Portsmouth. And Jacqueline, Patterson is indicted in 2 other crimes as well.
Yeah, Janet, he is involved with 2 separate offer-up robberies. Now, he is facing a total of 6 felony charges in relation to those. I'll get back to that in a second. The grand jury has been deliberating all day. These are just some of the documents that I'm currently sorting through. They just got out, and they did formally indict Patterson for those offer-up robberies, as well as the police officer involved shooting. Now, getting back to that, November 6th, that is when Portsmouth police officer Angelina Boccolini was in her patrol car. She saw Patterson hanging out with a few other people, and she recognized him as a runaway. As she tried to put him into custody, that is when he pulled a gun from his waistband and started shooting. Now, that's according to those court documents. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to see what led up to that shooting. And so we found that Patterson is involved in 2 other robberies. Now, court documents show on October 15th, he robbed a 31-year-old man who was just trying to buy an iPhone. He was using the OfferUp app. He came to the specific location, and that is when 2 males came out, one of them who was Patterson, pulled out a gun and got $150 from him. And then on October 29th, Patterson robbed a 42-year-old woman who was also trying to buy an iPhone using that OfferUp app. So again, he is facing a total of 16 felony charges. We're going to continue sifting through these documents. We'll have more for you guys coming up on 13 News Now at 6. Live in Portsmouth, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
Thank you, Jacqueline. All right, to Norfolk now, where police say an online exchange led to an armed robbery. Officers are looking for these men on your screen there. Police say they met up with a man who was selling a phone on the app OfferUp. The trio agreed to meet outside MacArthur Center last night. Police say when they did, the suspects robbed the seller at gunpoint. If you have any information, you're asked to call the crime line.
Port of Virginia is celebrating its best year ever, boosting its annual volume record. The port moved 2.8 million cargo boxes in 2017. That's up 7% from the year before. This marks the 6th year in a row that the port has posted best ever volumes. The string of records started back in 2012.
Right now, the Newport News School Board is searching for a new superintendent. Ashby Kilgore held the position for many years before announcing her retirement last year. Brian Nichols is in the position right now temporarily. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens explains how parents can weigh in on the selection process.
A call to order the organizational meeting of the Newport News School Board.
The search is on for Newport News Public Schools' new leader. The school board giving parents, students, staff, and the community the opportunity to weigh in on the search for a new school superintendent.
And a quorum is present to transact the business.
Longtime Superintendent Ashby Kilgore recently announced her retirement after serving in the position 10 years. Anyone can take an 11-question online survey where they can choose which qualifications they think are necessary for a superintendent. Questions from what should be the top priorities for a superintendent to their personal characteristics. They can also give their input at a public hearing next week.
Definitely someone who has experience.
Lynn Marie Watkins has 2 kids at BC Charles Elementary School. She thinks it would benefit the parents if the new superintendent has an understanding of their expectations.
They have a better understanding of how we feel and what we want.
So the school board will review the results of the survey. They'll take all the comments and suggestions from the public hearing, and then they'll establish what those qualifications should be.
What we see in him, is what we really enjoy as far as a superintendent.
Keith Morgan and his wife had 3 daughters go through the Newport News Public School system. He's already very fond of the acting superintendent, Brian Nichols. He says Nichols was his daughter's principal almost 15 years ago.
He always had parent-teachers meetings and always made sure the parents were aware of what was going on at school and how your kids were doing.
Parents like Watkins are excited to see where Newport News Public Schools is heading.
I would definitely like them to have more communication with them, showing up more, letting them see their faces a lot more.
And thrilled to have a say in such a huge decision. In Newport News, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
In less than 1 hour, the Suffolk School Board is meeting to consider several rezoning options. Suffolk will open a new elementary school and a new middle school this fall. 1,000 students can attend Florence Bowser and 800 can go to Colonel Fred Cherry. The school district says students could possibly come from Driver Elementary to Bowser, and students from John Yates Middle possibly would move to Cherry. Parents can weigh in through an online survey or attend the meeting at 6 o'clock tonight at City Hall.